Happy Tuesday, August 1st. Hard to believe we are already at the end of the summer. Second half of the summer is upon us. I've got Mark Sassy joining me out in the field today. I'm your host, Kimberly Perot. On today's show, we'll be talking about business transformation, neurotransformation, immigration attorneys, and much more. So stay tuned. Good Morning Vail starts now.
So many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Kimberly. Good morning, everybody at the TV8 studios. August 1st today. Today is National Respect Your Parents Day. So if you're going to do it one day a year, today is the official day to do it. We saw some rain last night, first thing, for the first day of August. And I think we're going to see some more rain on and off this afternoon. We have a few more days of some unstable low pressure making its way through Colorado out of the southwest with our monsoonal flows. Always happening around the beginning to the middle of August every year. And we'll see a little bit more rain later on today. We're going to see temperatures starting at about 60 degrees, 8 o'clock first thing this morning in the Vail area. And Vail will see a high temperature of 76 degrees midday with a 60% chance of those scattered afternoon thunderstorms. As you look at that hourly forecast, you can see partly cloudy to start. Low 70s around noon, still partly cloudy. Afternoon thunderstorms isolated, but we'll have more cloud cover in the afternoon. 68 degrees at about 4 p.m. this afternoon, so definitely a lot cooler than what we've seen typically at 4 p.m. Denver temperatures today, 86 with a 70% chance of moisture. For Vail, 76 and a 60% chance. And then Avon and Eagle coming in at 78 and 81 for their high temperatures, also with a 60% chance of a passing storm in the afternoon. Tonight we'll see that sun setting a little bit earlier at 8:20. Scattered thunderstorms over the course of the evening, a 40% chance of those, with a low of about 53 degrees. And then for Wednesday through Sunday, temperatures hovering in the mid to upper 70s, a little bit cooler for this week. We're going to see 76 for Wednesday, scattered thunderstorms, about a 70% chance. And then this system will pass on through. Thursday, 77, mostly sunny with a 30% chance. For Friday, 77, mostly sunny with a 20% chance. For Saturday, 78 for a high with a 20% chance, mostly sunny once again. And then for Sunday, 74 degrees will be the high temperature, mostly sunny and 20%. So another day to 2 days of a little more moisture coming our way. And then the sunshine will stick around even longer, but nice cooler temperatures over the course of today through the end of the weekend. Take advantage of it, and also take advantage of stuff happening around the Vail area. There's so many things, I can only focus on a few. I think the big highlight right now has been the 2023 edition of the Vail Dance Festival. Vail Dance has been going on for 35 years. It's a combination of creativity and collaboration. And tonight, once again, they'll be at the Gerald R. Ford Amphitheater. Tonight is Dance 2023. So it's special pricing. Reserve pavilion seats, only $20.23 while they exist. And then general admission lawn seats are $10.23. And tonight's an annual celebration focusing on the Brazilian tap dancer Leonardo Sandoval, contemporary ballet troupe Ballet X, which is definitely a must-see while you're here for the dance festival. Ballroom stars Denis Drozdiuk and Antonia Skobina. That's going to be happening tonight. And then as we get into more of the show today, I'll focus on some more of the things happening. Dance will be going on the road for a few days, moving around Eagle County. Tomorrow in Vail, the Wednesday Art Walk taking place at 11 o'clock. You can meet at the top of the Vail parking structure. It's a free, roughly 1 hour tour focusing on the history of the Vail Valley, the founding of Vail Mountain, the master planning of the Vail Village, and then the importance of the site-specific art that they have kind of all over Vail in the parking garage, all the way up to Gondy 1, all the way over towards Lion's Head. Painting, sculptures, murals, playground components, and site integrated art. So that's going to be tomorrow and every Wednesday for a little bit longer here through the middle to the end of August at the Vail parking garage at 11 o'clock, so check that out. So more about Vail Dance coming up. We have Kim in the studio with some great stuff happening in there, and I'm obviously out on the river once again, and then we're going to focus on everything outdoorsy with me today. We're going to take a quick break from our first edition of August. Remember, today is National Respect Your Parents Day. We'll be right back.
Good morning, Vail.
Here at Sun and Ski Sports, we are all about having the best summer adventures. Our full-service bike shop is here to help you get back on the saddle with services ranging from simple tire changes, full bike overhauls, and rentals. If trail running, hiking, or trips to the lake are your thing, our expert staff will fit you in the best performing footwear or clothing. And don't forget about a relaxing day on the water with our stand-up paddleboard rentals. Call Sun and Ski Sports in Avon or Dillon today, or learn more at sunandski.com/CO.
Hi, it's Julio from TV8 Vail. Do you ever wonder why our tagline is "There's more for you on 92"? Because we're always bringing you more. More Good Morning Vail from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. all year long. More local coverage with Vail Vibes and Covered Bridge on TV8. More opportunities to participate with new roundtable panels on mountain perspectives and our new Spanish programming block coming this fall. Find us on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92, on YouTube, or our website at tv8vail.com.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to this Tuesday morning edition and August 1st edition of Good Morning Vail. We have wonderful, cool temps this week, but that is perfect weather for hiking and doing all things outside. Let's take a look at Ben as he tells us all about his adventure at Booth Lake.
Welcome to Outdoor Adventures. I'm Ben Roof. We are heading out to Booth Falls Trail today for an easy but a little bit steep 4.2 mile hike out to a gorgeous waterfall. If we were feeling a little bit more ambitious today, we could take it all the way out to Booth Lake, which is an 8.6 mile hike out and back. Both hikes are gorgeous views up into the Gore Range and into the Eagle's Nest Wilderness. But there is no parking at the trailhead, so we are here at the Vail Transportation Center waiting for a bus to take us out to the gorgeous trail. I hope you'll stick with us. we finally made it to the trailhead. It's only about a 5-minute bus ride from the transportation center, but we could have taken one of the rentable shift bikes found around town, or if we were staying at a local hotel, I'm sure they have a shuttle available for us. It's about 2 miles from here to the falls, and it's gonna be about 1,300 feet in elevation gain. We're starting here at about 8,300, and we're gonna finish at about 9,600, I should say. It's gonna be about 1.5 miles of fairly mellow elevation incline, with that last half mile being a lot more rugged. Let's get after it right now. So heading up this first incline on the hike, we do have a decent steepness right off the bat to get us warmed up, but it shouldn't sustain for that long. Man, that first quarter mile was pretty steep, but it looks like things level out quite a bit from here. We're approaching the boundary to the National Wilderness Area, and that's different from the National Forest in a couple of important ways. The idea behind it is that we're trying to keep it as free from human impact as possible. So we're only allowed to travel here on foot, and to camp we need a permit. Unlike the National Forest areas, there's no motorized transportation allowed at all here. So no mountain bikes, no dirt bikes, no cars, and no drones. So we also aren't allowed to take our dogs on the Town of Vail bus, and because of that, my best friend isn't with me here today. Well, let's keep going and see what else we can find. One of my favorite things about hiking is that it's something that just about anybody can do, regardless of economic situation. As long as you can walk and you have a decent pair of shoes, you can get out and enjoy the nature. But there are a lot of things that can make hiking way more pleasant, whether that's a decent water bottle, good shoes, hiking boots, or what we're going to talk about today, a good layer. And what I've got for you is the Smartwool Active Hoodie. And this guy is fantastic. It's one of my absolute favorite layers. It's great for all year round, whether it's an early morning hike like we're doing today, where we're getting out in nature during the cold. It's gonna warm up a lot over the course of the day, but no matter what, this shirt isn't gonna get too warm. And even if through all the activity, we start to sweat in it, because it's wool, it's gonna stay warm. But it's a nice thin layer, whether it's this one right here or the blue one that I've got on and have had on with me the whole hike. It's a fantastic layer for winter and for summer because it lays down nice and flat, and in the case of rain, or if you need to keep the sun off your neck, it's got a great little hood. And this hood can fold back, stuff down in your other layers, and it's just light enough that it doesn't get in the way and doesn't feel bulky. So check out our sponsor, Sun & Ski, for a Smartwool Active Hoodie today. So if you take a look behind me real quick, you can see all of these aspen trees that are laid over on their sides. This is just a quick demonstration of the awesome power that is an avalanche. All around me, these aspen trees have been laid flat by snow that's come down from the slope above. Something to always be aware of when we're traveling around in the backcountry. And when we're out in the summer enjoying these trails, we can see some of these debris fields that were left from the snow over the course of the winter. Just one little cool thing I thought you guys might like to check out. After about 2 miles, it took me a little over 2 hours to get here, but we are finally at the top of Booth Falls. You can hear the falls roaring behind me, and we've got some gorgeous views, making the hike well worth the effort. Those last little bits were quite difficult with some loose scree or talus to coat over. But now that we're here, let's take in a little bit of those views. Just listen to that water roar. But we can't stay here forever, so it's time for us to start heading back down. Thank you so much for joining me on this week's outdoor adventure for the Booth Falls Trail. And I hope you'll join us again next week when we're gonna go hike Nolan Lake out at Sylvan Lake State Park. Stay tuned, we've got some more show for you right after this.
Good morning, Vail.
Hello everyone, I'd like to welcome you into Rugs Benedict to come explore our 12,000 square foot showroom. We've been serving the Vail Valley for over 50 years now with flooring needs. And we inventory a ton of product from Carpet One to provide the very best values, highest style. We just built a warehouse, 15,000 square foot warehouse in gypsum. So we have over 120 different broadloom carpets. We have a lot of waterproof wood flooring, things that we can install right away. We have employee installers, a lifetime installation warranty. Many of them have been with us for decades and they're true craftsmen in their work. They're absolutely extraordinary at installing any of the flooring that we provide. We also have over 1,000 area rugs in stock right now. And they start at 2x3s. I could bring these into the studio today, but they go all the way up to 12x16s. And we have them hanging on the racks just like shopping for clothing. So it's very easy for you to just flip through, see what's available. We'll deliver them to your house so you can
check out how they look in your space with your lighting. All different sizes, all different shapes, some things that are going to be a little bit more contemporary as well as tribal, traditional, all the latest and greatest looks. We have things that are hand knotted, silk, woolen silk options, all the way down to some machine-made indoor-outdoor type rugs. So really anything that you're looking for your business, for your home, for a rental, Rugs Benedict can provide it. And one thing I consistently hear when people leave our showroom is, that was so easy, thank you so much. So we make the process very easy. Come in, take a look, and we'd love to offer you a free estimate. Look forward to seeing you in our showroom.
Knapp Harvest, your local marketplace for fresh, locally produced products. Our indoor farmers market is open 7 days a week, featuring locally grown organic produce, prepared meals, honey from our Knapp Nectar Hive, furniture, cutting boards, and much more. We source and sell locally grown and produced products from the Vail and Roaring Fork Valleys. Visit us at our new location in Eagle Ranch, 717 Sylvan Lake Road, next door to Color Coffee Roasters.
Thank you for watching Good Morning Vail. Have an amazing day. Get on out there, soak up that sunshine. We'll see you tomorrow right here for more Good Morning Vail. Bye, everyone. Hi, I'm Gretchen Pleshaw. You might recognize me from the Glitz and Glam with Gretchen. Maybe you hear my voice on the radio from time to time or see me out at a concert or two. I love concerts. If you see me out, the long mermaid hair, I'm almost 6 foot tall. It's hard to miss. Come and say hi, give me a high five, and make sure to watch me right here on TV8.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. Now, it is National Respect Your Parents Day, so if you haven't, give them a ring. But we love the outside and all of the fun things that you can do here. Now, we have an incredible segment with Outdoor Adventures talking about Nolan Lake and the hike that it takes to get up there. It's just over 1,300 feet elevation gain, 3 miles straight hike, but pretty steep, so definitely be prepared. But once you get there, the views are stunning. So let's have a look.
Welcome to Outdoor Adventures. I'm Ben Roof. We are here at Yeoman Park, part of Sylvan Lake State Park, getting ready for a 3.5 mile out and back hike to Nolan Lake, totaling 7 miles. It's going to be a gorgeous high alpine lake in the shadow of Gold Dust Peak. Now, we are at Yeoman Park now, which means we're going to have to drive 6 miles up a dirt switchback road to get to Fulford. Fulford is an old mining community founded in the late 1800s that is now mostly home to summer cabins. It's only accessible by road in summer and by snowmobile in winter. It's going to be a fun little drive, so let's get started. So we've made it up to Fulford. The road isn't terrible, and as long as your vehicle has pretty good ground clearance, you shouldn't need 4-wheel drive to make it all the way up. However, I can imagine things could get pretty rough if it's raining or if the roads are wet. Up at the trailhead, we are here at 9,920 feet in elevation. There is some dispersed parking right around the trailhead across from Fulford and the entrance to the town. We are going to finish the hike up at 11,342 feet, gaining and losing and having to regain about 600 feet of elevation when we hit a saddle on the trail about halfway through. Don't forget, we're hiking at altitude, so it's going to be easy to get hydrated, especially in this warm summer. So make sure we've got plenty of water and some bug spray, because there are a lot of flies, at least the beginning of the trail. But as long as we're prepared, let's get started. After we've crossed that creek, on our way up the trail, we do have to split off from the old mining road we've been following since the trailhead. About 400 yards after we cross the creek next to the old building, we do come to the fork in the road. And back here behind me is the Nolan Lake Trail. It's a little bit tricky to see as we're walking up the logging road. And this old road keeps going and is very much more of a defined path. It's easy to miss. So after the creek, got to make sure we're looking to the left-hand side there for this old tree and the gap that's been sawed through it. Let's go. Things start to get quite a bit steeper as the trail is starting to begin to wind its way up a fairly significant hill face. It's going to have to work its way around several different steep rock outcroppings, which makes the trail a little bit narrow and a little bit windy. Fortunately, we do have pretty solid footing the whole way up before we reach the National Wilderness boundary. So the last section of our hike does start off with that bit of a short but steep and windy section there going through the rocks. Afterwards, we come out towards some talus fields and an alpine marsh. After passing the marsh, we're going to hit our wilderness boundary, and that is the signal that we are almost on top of the lake. It's just a little bit more to regain that 600 feet that we lost coming down in the marsh, but we'll be right on top of the lake after that, and not a moment too soon, because I'm starting to get a bit thirsty. Let's get going. Well, we are just about to the lake, but it has started to rain on me, so hopefully it's not too far away. The rain has really picked up, which is always a risk at the high alpine. You never know what the weather's going to do as you start closing in on tree line. Well, thankfully the rain broke, and hopefully we'll have a beautiful sunny rest of the hike. We're here at Nolan Lake. Despite having a bit of rain to deal with, some muddy spots in the trail, and some spots where trees falling over the trail made it a little bit difficult to navigate, and the bugs have been kind of atrocious. I would say overall, it's a moderate to difficult trail. Not terribly easy, but nice and scenic the whole way. It's absolutely gorgeous. Once we're at the lake, we've still got snow, it's nice and cool, there's a beautiful view, and the water is crystal clear. Now, let's enjoy the views a little bit. One of the biggest challenges on any hike is making sure that we bring enough water with us. Water can get heavy and can be a hassle to carry. So one thing that I always make sure that I have in my pack is a life straw. This product is by Vestergaard, and it's a fantastic little lightweight water filter that you can bring with you just about anywhere. It's small, it's light, it can fit in your backpack, it can fit in your pocket, it can even fit in your car. And the way it works is you just pop the lid open here. This is the filter side, and this is the drinking side. And you just take this guy, stick it in your water source, and just drink just like it's a straw. This is a fantastic product that can make sure, as long as you have a water source, you'll have somewhere where you can get some drinkable water from. And it does a great job at filtering out not just dirt and debris, but also bacteria, microorganisms that might make us sick. It's lightweight, it's easy to use, and Vestergaard also makes a series of other LifeStraw filter products, like some that go in your water bottle, some that go in your drinking reservoir, or some that can go in your filter in your refrigerator. So, make sure to pick up a LifeStraw at any of our fantastic local outdoor retailers. I can't stay here for too much longer though, because I am getting eaten alive by all the mosquitoes. So let's head on back to the car. Thank you so much for joining me for Nolan Lake on this edition of Outdoor Adventures. I'm Ben Roof. I'm gonna get out of this thunderstorm, but I hope you'll catch me next time when I go explore Beaver Lake.
Good morning, Vail.
Familia de TV8, estamos muy emocionados de seguir avanzando nuestra programación en español. Recientemente tuvimos un exitoso evento donde colaboramos con nuestra comunidad para desarrollar ideas sobre nuestro contenido y nuestra programación en español. Así que muchísimas gracias a todas las personas que asistieron. Y si no tuviste la oportunidad de contribuir, aún puedes mandarme tus comentarios a través de correo electrónico. Y además te invitamos a seguir nuestras nuevas redes sociales para estar al tanto de todo nuestro contenido en español. Nos encuentras en Instagram y Facebook, @TV8 Conexión Latina, o nuestra página web tv8vail.com/Conexión Latina. Recuerda que puedes sintonizar toda la programación de TV8 a través del canal 92 de Comcast o nuestra página web tv8vail.com. TV8 is excited to continue making progress to our Spanish programming. We recently had a successful event at our studio where we collaborated with community members to develop ideas for the future of our Spanish programming. So thank you to everyone who came out. And if you didn't get a chance to contribute, you can still send me your comments via email. You can also now follow our new Spanish social media accounts on Facebook and Instagram at TV8 Conexión Latina, or our website tv8vail.com/Conexión Latina, so you can stay up to date on all our Spanish content. Remember, you can also tune in to all of our TV8 programming on Comcast Channel 92 or our website at tv8vail.com.
Join us in exploring the everyday lives of community members here in the Vail Valley. Hear their inspiring stories of how they came here, their contributions to our community, and why they chose to call this place home. We want you to be one of our neighbors. If you would like to be featured or nominate someone to be featured, please send an email to Danielle@tv8vail.com. We look forward to featuring your story right here on TV8.
Hi there. Are you ready to explore famous neighborhoods from New York City to Kentucky? Watch The Neighborhood with host Nicole Newman, featuring famous people, unique history, and delicious places to eat and drink. Our viewers get an inside personal look at each neighborhood. With each episode we learn, grow, laugh, and live like a local, not just a visitor. Welcome to The Neighborhood. Check your local program schedule and tune in.
In America's heartland, living close to the land, there's a love for the country and a pride in the brand. In America's heartland, living close to the land. In America's heartland, close to the land.
Good morning, Vail.
Well, a lot of outdoorsy stuff happening today on TV8. We've been hiking with Ben Roof first thing this morning with Outdoor Adventures on a couple hikes. We have more great stuff coming your way. And I think if you want to plan to get out and enjoy the outdoors while you're here visiting in the Vail Valley, pack a light rain jacket today, bring some sunscreen and a hat, because we're going to have a mix of everything. Some sun first thing this morning, cloud cover, maybe some afternoon thunderstorms. Let's take a look at your weather for the first day of August. For Tuesday, Temperatures starting in the low to mid 60s. And then we'll see temperatures midday for Vail about 76. That'll be the high for Vail, with a 60% chance of maybe some scattered, isolated passing thunderstorms in the afternoon. As you look at that hourly forecast for Vail, you can see temperatures in the 60s to start, 70s around noon, dropping into the upper 60s around 4 p.m. So a cooler day today. It's going to be nice. Take advantage of that. Highest temperature 76 coming our way at about 2 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Denver 86 today with a 70% chance of some moisture. For Vail, Avon, and Eagle, upper 70s, low 80s with a 60% chance of moisture. And then as we jump ahead through tonight, 53 for our low temperature, 40% chance of maybe some scattered thunderstorms passing on through, sun setting a little bit earlier at about 8:20. And then as we jump ahead for that 5-day, Wednesday through Sunday, temperatures kind of hovering in the mid 70s, mid to upper 70s all the way through Sunday. We have a 70% chance of more moisture coming our way Wednesday, tomorrow. And then it drops to 30% chance on Thursday. And then for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, temperatures stabilizing in the low to mid 70s. Mostly sunny skies with a 20% chance of moisture for all of those days, for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So another day, another 2 days of some moisture, cooler temperatures all week. It's a great week to be here. It's been hot, very hot obviously, but we have this nice little cool spell coming our way, so take advantage of that. Maddie had a chance to take advantage of getting ready to go fly fishing. We got her all suited up last year. We spent time tying knots and getting her into the river. We're going to take a look at all that with our outdoorsy program for Tuesday. First up, we've got Maddie kind of getting suited up in waders and boots. It's kind of the first step. Let's take a look. Hey everybody, Mark Sassy here. I hosted TV8. I also run Minturn Anglers. We've got Maddie Evans. Y'all know her from TV8. We get to work together really one day a week. It's not enough, but whenever I'm in there, Maddie and I always tend to, we kind of get drawn to fly fishing. I give a fly fishing report. We talk about what's happening on the rivers. And I feel like, I mean, you can pipe in, but you've learned a fair amount.
Hopper droppers, keep them wet, make sure the river temperatures are appropriate so you're not killing fish left and right. Water levels, cubic feet, basketballs in the river. I got it. Let's do this.
Yeah, okay, you're good. So she has the basic understanding, but she wants to go fishing. And really what we want to do is educate everybody today on soup to nuts what it takes to go out on a fly fishing trip. Whether you're a beginner or you know how to fish, there's a lot of things you have to take into account. So for starters, we get suited up in waders and boots. So Maddie's going to drift on back here. She's going to try on her waders and boots. And once we get these on and we're sure that they fit all right, we're going to take it to the river. And things you have to take into account when you're going fly fishing, as opposed to kind of traditional fishing where you just use a spinning rod and a lure, you have to think about where you're going to fish in the river, because our fish with flies only hang out in certain areas. What flies to use, make sure you're using the proper knots, and also you make sure you're using the right rod and you're casting it the right way. So not just about Maddie trying to look good and trying to stay dry, but there's a lot more that goes into it. But this is step one. Middle of the summer.
How are we doing on these waders?
I think you're pretty good. How do they, I mean, they're not bad.
All right, cool.
They're not bad.
All right.
So in the middle of the summer, you don't necessarily need to wear waders because the water temperatures, like we've talked about, Maddie, are warm, right?
Right.
And the water levels are low. So you could actually wet wade where you would wear a pair of sandals or those wading boots and no waders. But in the colder months or when the water levels are up or colder, it's good to be able to wear waders to protect yourself. But I think to fit the part, instead of seeing Maddie splashing around in her little Daisy Dukes, we're putting her in waders today to make it right, start to finish. And we're doing good. How are those doing? Good?
Great.
She's wearing Reddington waders. These are Corker's wading boots with a BOA system, which is that quick lacing system with a speed dial. Pretty handy. And she's waterproof all the way from her chest all the way down to her toes, as long as there's no leaks in those waders. But you're good to go. They got a pocket here. There's a pocket on the inside, waterproof if you want to bring your cell phone. But most people don't bring very much with them except maybe a cell phone and some sunscreen.
Right.
The guides are going to have, you say right like you know.
I don't know. I just
You don't need to bring much. We get people that show up here at the shop and they take their wallet out and they have their car keys and their tablet and their pager and all this other stuff that when you're in the river, it's about disconnecting with everything so you can reconnect with the natural surroundings that we have.
You know people that are still using pagers?
Maybe. I can't tell anybody that though.
Okay, well.
Burner phones, whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
You don't need much except for, and also the guides also will airdrop or send your photos. You don't need to bring a phone if you don't want to. Disconnect to
That's
reconnect
simple.
is what it's all about. You got that?
Yeah, that's simple. I love to disconnect.
Sunscreen, a normal hat to protect your eyes and your face from the sun and also from flies flying around, and also a good pair of sunglasses.
Perfect.
Okay, preferably polarized, so you can actually see more into the water, so you may be able to see the targets that you're actually fishing at.
I think that now we've done this, I'm suited up. I think you should get
So let's
suited
pick her up and throw her in the river. See if she stays dry. Okay, I'll get suited up.
All right, you get suited up, and then I think we should make our way down to the river so you can teach me so much more about fly fishing.
We're going to go through all the basics. Why we have these bugs. Why do I have to cast the rod that way? And show me a knot. But we'll go through it all. This is fly fishing with TV8. We'll be right back. All right, so there you go. You got a chance to see Maddie getting suited up with waders and boots. Now we're going to talk about some fly fishing. Water temps today stabilized at about 54 degrees first thing this morning. And we like those water temperatures around that number, no hotter than 60 degrees, keeping it safe for the fish. We had that rain last night. It definitely cooled the rivers off a little bit. Let's make our way over to my bug station. Talk a little bit about what's happening for bugs today. First up though, I want to show you with the rain we had last night, we had a dramatic spike in our local rivers with that rain passing on through. I've got your graph coming up for the Eagle River right now, and you can see that dramatic spike that happened last night right around midnight or so. So we jumped up, you know, not quite 100 cubic feet per second, but it was a pretty significant bump. And that means that a lot of rain came down, definitely raised the water levels, and it definitely cooled the water temperatures off temporarily. But with the cloud cover today and the chance for some more rain in the forecast, this is great for our rivers right now. This is well needed for the fish because those water temps were getting a little bit warm. Now in terms of bug life and what's happening, there is a plethora of everything out on the rivers right now. Still a lot of dry flies. Once again, a lot of caddis throughout the daytime. Still stoneflies, yellow sallies, a lot of PMDs for the mayflies, a lot of pale evening duns, red quills, along with the tried and true hoppers, and then subsurface if you want to do like a hopper dropper, fishing a big hopper with a nymph below it. I'm a big fan of this Euro nymphing program right now, and I'm a big fan once again of this Cortland Ultra Premium tippet and their indicator tippet. The stuff is spectacular. The knots, very, very precise, very solid, and the breaking strength is great, and visibility under the water, significant. Love that stuff. Anyways, bugs right now, I'm big on the nymphs, and I love using anything that's got some green to it because of the caddis. So things like that one right there are going to work well. Anything that's got some green. These little soft tackle pheasant tails, and you can fish it as a Euro setup, or you can fish it traditionally underneath an indicator. It's not going to work quite the same, but basically what you're trying to do is get your bugs down into the lower water column. And if you want to fish two bugs, so you have another bug in that upper water column, if you are going subsurface, believe it or not, we are seeing a lot of mayflies now around that are called tricos, tiny tricos. And I'm a big fan of using small RS2s, whether it's a size 20, 22 black RS2, or maybe a size 18 to a 20 to a 22 crystal wing gray RS2. They cover a lot of bases, so there's a few options for you to get out there and do some fishing. But I say the best thing to do is, if you're not sure what you're going to do, give us a call at Minturn Anglers, and we'll get you on the river and get you all suited up, because that's what we do. We've got some great access to some great water locally on the Colorado River, on the Eagle River. We can go over and work on the Fork, Homestake Creek. Just a significant place to be here, and the fishing has really turned around. And once again, with these cooler water temps, it's really going to entice the fish. All right, so we have another segment coming up with Maddie real soon. I was showing her how to tie knots. There's a couple important knots you need to have when you go fly fishing. One of them is attaching the fly to the end of your leader, and the other one is called a surgeon's knot, where you attach two pieces of tippet together to increase your length or to tie that dropper off. So we're going to take a quick break from this fishing report on Tuesday, August the 1st. When we get back, we got Maddie tying some knots. We'll be right back.
Good morning, Vail.
Well, Archer and I are going to get headed on further down the trail, but I hope you'll catch up with us a little bit later. Hi, I'm Ben Roof, and I'm one of the new hosts here at TV8. I'm so excited to share all of my explorations throughout the Vail Valley with my dog Archer, where we'll be taking you to hiking trails, biking trails, maybe we'll go rafting, fishing, or whatever else we can come up with. I'm so excited to share all of that with you in my new segment, Outdoor Adventures. Don't forget to catch up with us every day right here at TV8 Vail or at tv8vail.com, because there's always more for you on 92.
Good morning, Vail.
All right, welcome back now. First up, we showed you Maddie getting suited up in waders and boots for her first experience, making her way into the river so she doesn't get wet. Next up, we have a segment about knot tying, how important the knots are for fly fishing. So let's go get naughty with Maddie tying some knots next. Welcome back to a nice little segment called Fly Fishing with Maddie. That's not what it's officially called, but I think that's the direction it's heading. Trying to fly fish with Maddie. Anyway, so you got your gear, you're good on the waders and boots, right?
Good.
Now, so the next step of it, and this is a piece that really, for most people that go on a fishing trip, this is kind of the understood that they don't worry about. The guides take care of all of it, okay? They're gonna tie your knots. They're gonna select your flies for you. You don't need to do any of that. But there's also people that go on these fishing trips that want to treat it more like a school.
Yeah.
So they want to know how to tie that knot and what flies to use and why do you select those flies. So I think it's kind of, if people are watching for the first time and they're trying to decide if the fishing thing is for them or not, this will help kind of open up those questions for yourselves and say, do I want to learn more about this, or do I want to have the guide just do it for me? So that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to show you the bugs. We're going to tie a knot and go from there. What are you thinking right now?
I'm thinking that there's a lot of pretty things going on right here.
Isn't there? Isn't it wild?
Yeah, it's pretty cool looking. Some bug mimics going on here.
Bug mimics.
Yeah.
Imitators.
Yeah, and
So-
I'm just ready to learn some loop, swoop, and polling.
Loop, swoop, and pollen. So, we've talked about this before, I think
Yes.
you and I have. All the bugs, well, 99% of the bugs that the fish eat all come from the bottom of the river. So all these start as a tiny little larva, like a let's just say like a butterfly larva, okay? A little larva, then they make a cocoon around their bodies in the rocks in the river. And then over the course of 365 days, they gestate and they get bigger. And then when they're ready to become a fuzzy fly, which is an adult version, they will climb out of their cocoon, they'll float to the surface of the river, and then they'll sit on top of the water for a little bit of time as they dry their wings off. Then they'll go off and fly around. They'll look for their mate, they'll reproduce. The male will return to the river and die. The female will return to the river, lay her eggs, and then she'll return to the river and die. And they're really out of the rocks as an adult for about 24 hours, and then that's it. So their life cycle is really weird. It's just a short-lived life when they're out. They're in the rocks for most of their lives. So we have bugs that imitate the larva, we have bugs that imitate the bugs that emerge, and we have bugs that imitate the ones that sit on top that are dry flies.
So you have the whole life cycle of the bug here.
Yeah.
Which makes it nice and convenient. That way when you want to fish, you know what you're using.
Well, yeah, and you just pay attention to what's happening on the river at certain times of the year.
Bug expert.
You read the fishing reports. You just kind of, you earn this knowledge and you gain it over time. Right now, this time of the year, with the water temperatures being warm and low, we're seeing a lot of the surface bugs, a lot of the dry flies, the adults.
Right.
So if you're riding your bike around Vail, or you're going for a hike up on a mountain in Beaver Creek and there's little bugs everywhere, chances are if you're near water, they're not mosquitoes or house flies or horse flies. They're either going to be caddis flies, mayflies, or stone flies. And they don't bite, they just fly around and get in your hair and get in your eyes.
And annoy you.
Yeah.
Their job is to annoy you.
They pretty much are, kind of like what you do with me. Same idea.
All right, let's
Okay.
learn how to tie
All right,
some
so
knots.
with that being said,
Mm-hmm.
this time of the year, like we talked about it before, we're starting to see the terrestrial bugs, which are going to be your ants. And what else is another bug that comes from the land that ends up in the water by accident? They're big, they fly around, they hop around. How about that? They hop around.
Maybe a grasshopper.
So grasshoppers now leading into the cooler months towards the end of the summer and the fall. There's a lot of grasshoppers until we see 1 or 2 frosts, and then the grasshoppers will go off and die. But until then, grasshopper fishing, let's grab one of these. And there's a bunch of different grasshoppers. See the big thighs on these guys? Like,
Yeah.
size and color are the most common 2 factors when you're picking any bugs, but with a grasshopper, it floats, it's made of foam, it's going to sit on top of the water. And fish love these because it's a big morsel of food compared to something that size, right?
Right.
So this gives them a lot of energy.
What if you catch like a live grasshopper and you put it on the hook? Does that work?
I mean, you might be able to do it, but probably since they're delicate, it might,
Just shatter?
you cast it out and it might break off,
Got
you know?
it.
But they would probably come up and eat it. And then off of this, you would tie some material and you'd have a second little bug down low, floating down in the water column deeper. Hopper, dropper.
Wow. I knew the name. I never knew the science behind the name, and now I've learned the actual reason for the hopper dropper.
Yeah, and I think right now, the fishing that we'll do the best, the most productive would be a hopper.
Okay.
Hoppers also will substitute for basically a bobber for fly fishing, which is called a strike indicator. And a strike indicator, I didn't bring one, but it's a small round ball that you tie onto your fly line in case you're fishing down in the rocks with your flies that sink, then you'll know if a fish eats it. But when you're fishing with a hopper, this can actually double as a strike indicator because you're going to have another fly tied down here. And if they eat this one will go under. So it acts like a bobber too, right?
That's nice and
Yeah.
convenient.
Yeah, it is.
Less things that you need.
You're
the more
killing,
you know.
yeah, exactly. And they do come up and eat these right now. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to end up fishing with a hopper and maybe a small dropper. But I want to tie a knot with you first, okay?
All right.
Just to show you basic knots.
Cool.
So there's a couple knots that we use to tie all of our gear together. When you're tying the fly on, whether it's a hopper or any of these other flies, and this is going to be
The fly.
the fly, right?
Okay.
So then that's going to be where you tie the line
All right.
on, right?
This is the line.
And this is going to be the line. This is the perfect size for you, okay?
Yeah, it
So you
is.
can see it, we can work down, because she said doesn't have a lot of dexterity in those small little giraffe hands of hers.
My dainty fingers, they're just not the best for these tiny
So you're going to
little
practice.
straps.
I'm going to show you what we do.
Okay.
So you put it through, okay? Then you're going to take the little tag end. This is obviously attached to your rod, so you can't
Right.
do anything with that, right? You're going to wrap it around, they say 5 times, okay? But we'll just do it a couple times, 2 or 3 times to get the effect.
Okay.
5 times, then you put it back through the hole that you started, right?
Okay.
You want to wet it down with some spit or some water from the river, okay? And then you're going to slide it right up against the eye of the hook.
Wow. Okay.
And then you trim this piece off, not too close. This is called a clinch knot. There's another way to make it a little more stable. It's called the improved clinch knot, but that's the basic knot that we use.
Okay.
You going on a guided trip, unless you want to learn how to do it, you're never going to have to do that with any guide service anywhere. They do it all for you, okay?
But I think part of the thing about doing the guide service, and maybe for some, is that they get to learn, so they can take themselves out and do this later, and so learn the skills.
Well, that's the whole thing, right? If you have people that just come out here once a year and they live in the city and they don't get a chance to do this very often, they're not going to probably do it at home. But people that maybe live here, that are interested in it, that want to embrace the outdoors a little bit more. Okay.
1, 2.
So far, so good.
3.
3.
I did 3 like you.
No, wait, where did you? Okay, you're good there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, mine's not as pretty, but it works.
Okay, so let's just say that's your clinch knot. Okay. Now we're going to
Do it in
we're going to do it on a little more scale. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm going to show you the basics on how to do this too. Okay. We're going to take a bigger fly because it has a bigger hole on it. Okay.
Mhm.
We're going to put it through the hole, right?
Right.
Like we did on that one. And then we're going to hold the fly. See, I'm stabilizing it right here. Wrap it around. Once again, I'm just going to do it 3 times. So you see how I keep this taut in my hand though? It makes it easier to wrap it around, right? Then I just grab and pass my fingers around. And then I'm gonna pass it through wherever that hole is there, right in through the first hole that I made. There it is. There.
Made like a microscope.
And then you wet it down, you slide it up, and then you trim that off, okay?
Okay.
Clinch knot. There's a lot of different knots you can use, but this is probably one of the most common, okay? You want to see if she can do it? Here you go. It doesn't have to be pretty.
Well, it's not going to be pretty.
Well, here's the deal. Like, while you're doing that, I'm going to let people know, like, the knots are part of the four quarters of fly fishing, I like to call it. You have the first quarter, which is casting the rod the right way. The second piece is selecting the right bugs. The third piece is fishing in the right spot. And the fourth piece is making sure that you're using the right knots and that they're seated and that they hold, because you could have 3/4 of everything working, but if a fish comes up and bites your fly and you lose it because the knot didn't hold, then even though you had the right fly in the right spot, casting it the right way, this has to work for you too, or you're SOL basically. Got it?
Yeah, I almost got the hook in my hand, but I did it.
Okay, you did do it. Okay.
I did it.
So that's a clinch knot, okay?
Got it. All right, so now that we've gone through the flies, we've learned some knots.
I'll tell you what,
get in the water?
we'll go, I'll go grab a fishing rod and we'll maybe just talk about some of the basics.
Okay.
I think what's gonna happen is though, we probably won't like legitimately fish in this area, because it does get it gets a lot of pressure from kids and dogs and rocks and everything.
Right. We're just
So
gonna
I think
learn.
we'll go do the basics on the cast and a few things you can work on, and then probably for the next segment we'll actually go to another part of the Eagle River where we know there's fish, where we can catch fish. Okay, so we'll be right back.
Good morning, Vail.
Join us on the Leadville Railroad. This fun-filled train ride takes you and your family on an unforgettable trip through the heart of the Rockies for a half-day trip of adventure, relaxation, and sightseeing. Enjoy the spectacular Colorado scenery. Even meet the engineer. Book your adventure on the Leadville Railroad today at leadvillerailroad.com.
Join us in exploring the everyday lives of community members here in the Vail Valley. Hear their inspiring stories of how they came here, their contributions to our community, and why they chose to call this place home. We want you to be one of our neighbors. If you would like to be featured or nominate someone to be featured, please send an email to danielle@tv8vail.com. We look forward to featuring your story right here on TV8.
When you're in Vail, you're in vacation mode, and you need a flexible home tour experience that fits into your schedule. We've transformed how you view and buy homes in the Vail Valley. With immersive, cutting-edge technology, you can explore properties 10 times faster. In our lounge, we guide you through this digital world on a 16-foot screen where you can imagine your next home in comparison to your favorite recreational spots. Say goodbye to multi-day home tours and hello to a quick stop between your other plans. That's the power of the immersion theater.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Here at Sun and Ski Sports, we are all about having the best summer adventures. Our full-service bike shop is here to help you get back on the saddle with services ranging from simple tire changes, full bike overhauls, and rentals. If trail running, hiking, or trips to the lake are your thing, our expert staff will fit you in the best performing footwear or clothing. And don't forget about a relaxing day on the water with our stand-up paddleboard rentals. Call Sun and Ski Sports in Avon or Dillon today, or learn more at sunandski.com/CO.
Happy National Respect Your Parents Day. It is Tuesday, August 1st. I'm your host, Kimberly Perot. We've got Mark Sassy out in the river, hanging out, telling us all things fly fishing and much more. Lots of exciting things at the top of this hour. We'll be talking to Covered Bridge and seeing their segment with the long distance runner, Corey Crane. We'll be talking with the TV8 Visitors Bureau, e-bikes and how to get around, and then Mark and Maddie out on the river. So stay tuned. Good Morning Vail, Hour 2 starts now.
Get up, get ready to start your day. The mountains are calling you out to play. Come on, we'll make you feel right at home. Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Everybody, welcome to our Tuesday edition, August the 1st of Good Morning Vail on TV8. You can see more on 92, so there's more for you on channel 92 on Comcast. You can also watch us on YouTube and stream us live wherever you are. Let's talk about your weather for your Tuesday. We had some rain last night, so the rain raised the water levels and kind of cooled things off, and we're going to see a little bit of rain this afternoon. A little bit of rain tomorrow also. Today, our high temperature about 76 degrees in Vail, so probably about 10 degrees cooler than what we saw yesterday. 60% chance of those afternoon scattered thunderstorms. And as you look at that hourly forecast, you can see temperatures, highest temp of the day coming at 76 degrees, but other than that, upper 60s, low 70s for a good part of the day into the evening. Warm in Denver today with a high of 86, 70% chance of moisture there, then a 60% chance of moisture for Vail, Avon, and Eagle. Temperatures in Eagle County, upper 70s, excuse me, to low 80s. Tonight, sun setting at 8:20, 40% chance of some thunderstorms this evening with a high of about 53 degrees. For Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, temperatures mid to upper 70s all the way through the weekend. Those are your high temperatures for Vail, so it's going to be a little bit cooler. We have a 70% chance of some moisture coming our way on Wednesday, and then it drops to 30% on Thursday, and then we have a 20% chance of moisture for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So looking pretty nice. It's going to shape up to be, once again, a great week here in Eagle County with a plethora of indoor and outdoor activities. We talked about Vail Dance during the first open. I want to spend a little bit more time on Vail Dance. It is the big event, the big festival happening right now for another week or so. And they are going to be moving up to the Vail Performing Arts Center underneath the Black Family Ice Rink in Beaver Creek tomorrow night for an event called Music for the Soul. And it really is going to be a focus on dancing, Afro-Brazilian dance and music, Afro diasporic roots, and it's just going to be a lot of soul-thumping, foot-pounding music up at the Vail Performing Arts Center. Tickets still available. You can go to vailpac.org to find out more information. And then also happening in Avon, we'll talk about tomorrow night first in Avon. So Avon has, they do an event and it's free. It's called Avon Live, and it takes place every Wednesday, 5:30 to 9, on the stage right there at Nottingham Park, Nottingham Lake, at the amphitheater. And it's a chance to kind of just bring some great live music, rain or shine, to the Avon area. So hop down there, check out that tomorrow night. And then Thursday night at the amphitheater at Nottingham, Vail Dance will be shifting gears and making their way down to Avon at the amphitheater for Dancing in the Park. Really with a celebration of Youth Power 365, celebrating the beat. And that's a free event. That is really the full-on only big dance part of the Vail Dance Festival that is fully free. So swing by Avon tomorrow night or go to the Vail Performing Arts Center. And then you can also swing by Thursday night and go check out some more Dancing in the Park with some of the dancers from the Vail Dance Festival, including Ballet X. You can go to Villar PAC for that information. You can go to vaildance.org or discovervail.com to find out all of the details. All right, we're going to take a quick break from our second hour of August the 1st show of Good Morning Vail. When we come back, we've got more with Maddie and the river. We got some great interviews with Kim in the studio, and I've got another fly fishing report. We'll give you another look at that weather report. We'll be right back.
Good morning, Vail.
Nap Harvest, your local marketplace for fresh, locally produced products. Our indoor farmers market is open 7 days a week, featuring locally grown organic produce, prepared meals, honey from our Nap Nectar hive, furniture, cutting boards, and much more. We source and sell locally grown and produced products from the Vail and Roaring Fork Valleys. Visit us at our new location in Eagle Ranch, 717 Sylvan Lake Road, next door to Color Coffee Roasters.
Do you love the outdoor lifestyle? Make sure you tune in every day at 7 p.m. to catch Scoreboard Nation. It's an outdoor lifestyle show dedicated to your 3 favorite mountain towns, Vail, Beaver Creek, Park City, and Reno, Tahoe. Join us for an incredible venture. Find us on TV8 Vail, Park City Television, or at thescoreboardnation.com. We can't wait to see you there.
For TV8 in Vail, I'm Avisha Scarborough at the Gerald R. Ford Amphitheater. We'll see you next time. Hi friends, welcome to a little behind the scenes. I'm Avisha Scarborough, and I'm so excited to be part of the team at TV8 in Vail. I love the outdoor lifestyle here, I love the arts and culture, and I love being part of this community. My show is called Vail Vibes with Avisha, where I tell you about all the amazing activities going on here in Vail and surrounding areas all year round.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Good morning, Vail.
And we are back. Now, if you are local or you're visiting, you're probably wondering, how do you get around town? Well, we've got the TVA Visitors Bureau and Maddie talking about the Shift bikes, which are local e-bikes. Let's have a look.
Welcome to the TVA Visitors Bureau. I'm one of your hosts, Maddie Evans. Now we've got a really cool new concept taking place here in the town of Avon, Eagleville, and Vail. And it's a great way to use as an alternative. Instead of driving your car, you can shift your ride to one of these incredible electric bikes behind me. Now this is a really cool rental system, and you can control it all right from the power of your hands, right from your cell phone by downloading the Shift Bike app. And then from there, you can get over there and enjoy the incredible amenities that these bikes have to offer. We're gonna walk you through it, but in order to do it, you have to download the app. So Shift Bike is the app, and then you can use the coupon code Shift Your Ride for the first 30 minutes free. And we're gonna walk you through the pricing and everything here and how you can get one of the bikes. Let's get started. Once you get into the app, you can see exactly which location you would like to pick up the bike, how many bikes are available, and then where you can deliver the bike to. So you can see starting in Avon, making your way through Eagle Vale, all the way to Vail Village, and then even down into East Vail. You can collect bikes, drop bikes off, and enjoy your ride on these nice electric bikes. Once you've scanned the QR code to get the bike unlocked, it's really important that you have safety first, so always make sure that you have your helmet with you. That way you can pop that on and you're nice and safe. Now, once you get the bike unlocked, it's super easy. You'll just take that lock right off the back. You'll see that you'll have this big, nice coiled cord, but there's a hook on the back for you to hook that to so that it is nice and out of your way while you are riding the bike. That way you're nice and safe and everyone around you is nice and safe so you don't tip over on the bike. And then once you've got that all secured, you're all set to go. You can just kick that kickstand up and start enjoying your ride. Now remember that these are pedal assist and there are some rules. To get the bike back to where you got it or to get it to your next destination, you can always use the app to see all of the great places where you can drop these off. Once you are done on your adventure on the Shift bikes, they're a ton of fun, and you can see that you can get going pretty fast on them, especially with that nice little pedal assist. You'll take the bike back, lock it back up in one of the great charging stations that they have available, and then once you're done locking it up, make sure that you take your app out and you end the ride, because it is going to make sure that that bike is in the correct spot for you to have ended your ride, and that way it will not continue to charge you. That has been this edition of the TV8 Visitors Bureau. We can't wait to bring you more great information, but make sure that you get out there and you use the Shift bike to shift your ride throughout the community.
Good morning, Vail.
Hello everyone, now is the time to refresh your floors. I'm Mandy Benedict. I'd love to invite you into our showroom to explore our 12,000 square foot showroom where you can view all different floors installed, see what it looks like in a larger space. One of our greatest growing products is waterproof wood flooring, which for our environment with kids and dogs and ski boot and our mountain lifestyle, this is a great flooring option. I brought one of the planks with me today. They're nice, long, wide planks. They're embossed on grain, so they look beautiful, but they perform really well in our mountain lifestyle. We have all employee installers. They've been working for over a decade with us, and we have a lifetime installation warranty. So not only do we make sure that the client gets what they want, we know what this climate needs. We have beautiful reclaimed floors, herringbone, really anything that you're looking for to update your home or your business. We have it at Rugs Benedict. We provide free estimates. So come in and visit us in the store. We'd love to see you.
All right, welcome back to the river, everybody. Let's take a look at your weather for the day. Then we have another fly fishing report. And then we're going to get Maddie into the water with our next segment of Maddie Goes Fly Fishing. We've got a few high clouds first thing this morning. We are going to see the cloud cover increase over the course of your daytime. We'll see a high temperature for Vail later on this afternoon at about 76 degrees with afternoon scattered isolated thunderstorms throughout the afternoon, about a 60 to a 70% chance. Your hourly forecast, cool really all day long. Temperatures, hottest time of the day, 2 to 3 o'clock at 76. We're going to be at about 68 to 70 degrees around 4 p.m. today. So that's a nice little treat for everybody to cool off just a little bit for the day or two. Denver temperatures 86 with a 70% chance of moisture. Vail 76, Avon 78, and Eagle 81. And Eagle County all with a 60% chance of those scattered isolated thunderstorms. Tonight, sun setting at about 8:20 with a 53-degree temperature low, 40% chance of thunderstorms coming our way again this evening. And then we'll see more for that on Wednesday, a 70% chance of scattered storms with a high of 76. And then 30% chance of moisture, but mostly sunny on Thursday with a high of 77. For Friday, a high of 77 with a 20% chance. Saturday, 78 with a 20% chance of moisture. And then Sunday, 74 with a 20% chance of moisture. So the next day or two, we have some cloud cover and maybe some more rain coming our way. But for the remainder of the week, we definitely have cooler temperatures. I've got your fly fishing report. Another one coming up next. All right, so I'm standing out here in the river now. This is down in the Miller Ranch area, which is protected open space for Eagle County. I want to mention real quick because we are starting to see, if the evenings are clear, you know, we are on the tail end of our waxing gibbous moon, one step away from having that full moon. So the nights are pretty bright. So when you have a bright night on the river, it means that the fish can actually feed really 24 hours a day. So you might see a shift in and the amount of feeding that they do during the daytime when they have a clear night, because they can feed at night and they're fully protected and the bugs are around the same way as they are during the daytime, just not as many dry flies. So keep that in mind. I'm down here on the Eagle River. I busted out my Syndicate P2 10-foot 2-weight 4-piece. I love this rod. Nice and long, gives you plenty of reach if you want to do some Euro nymphing into those pockets. And I've got a couple different bugs that are going to sink real fast. I'm just going to chuck it out there and see if we can get any action first thing this morning. We might be able to, we might not, but that's kind of the joy of fishing, is you just never fully know what can happen when you're on the river. Now, I've fished this area plenty over the years, and I know the availability of fish. And as long as they didn't feed too much last night, which they probably didn't because we were having that rain, and it definitely changed. Maybe you can see the clarity in the river, the turbidity. It's definitely a little bit off color today. You can see probably 12 inches down out here in the middle. And once this big plug of off-color water pushes on through, it'll get clear once again. But those water temperatures, like I showed you this morning, they're at about 54 degrees. I think we're going to see definitely cooler water temperatures throughout the daytime with more rain and possibility in the forecast. And also just the cooler air temperatures are going to hold on. So that'll help with the water temps. But once again, keep in mind, if there's a full moon and there's no cloud cover, right now, as we get into this full moon, the tail end of the waxing gibbous, we are going to see fish activity all night long. Maybe something to consider is doing a night fishing trip and maybe do some mouse fishing or something. That's a lot of fun in the evenings, especially around here. There's a lot of places where you can go catch big brown trout, the carnivores, that are feeding on the mice that fall off of the banks along the rivers. It's a lot of fun. And only the big fish go after the mice. I'm not obviously fishing with a mouse first thing this morning here, but I'm trying to dredge my nymphs with this Syndicate Euro rod into these deeper pools, and the system sinks real fast right down to the bottom. Not much happening in that spot. Now, relatively what you could do is you could change your flies. If the fishing's slow, move fast. If the fishing's fast, move slow. But make sure that before you make that decision that you're comfortable with the bugs you have on and you're comfortable with what you're seeing for your drifts. So once again, we had a chance to get Maddie all fired up to go fishing last summer. We took her to Minturn Anglers, got her suited up with waders and boots so she could stand out in the river like I'm doing and stay dry. We also taught her how to tie a few knots, which I guarantee you she has not used since. I'm going to check in with her today and see how many knots she's tied or if she's been fishing once again. But the last segment that we got to go is actually get her into the water and get her to apply some of the things that we talked to her on the shoreline at the picnic table, how to cast and the bugs we're using, the knots we tied, and how we rigged it up and what we're trying to do. So let's take a closer look at Maddie's final segment, Maddie getting wet in the river and doing some fly fishing. We'll be right back. So we went through the knots, we went through the insects a little bit. Yeah. You're geared up, and now like the fourth piece of it all is, for one, you have a fly rod. We make sure we have the right flies tied onto it, and then we also try to figure out where in the river do you go and fish, because you can't just fish anywhere and expect to catch fish.
Right.
The fish congregate in certain areas for certain reasons. Okay. So, if you were a fish in the middle of the summer. And you understand that warmer water temperatures
are unhealthy,
and you know that the water is colder the deeper you go, right?
And the more in the shade you are.
So if you were a fish, would you rather hang out in the shallow, sunnier water, or maybe the shaded, maybe the deeper water?
Definitely the deeper water.
Okay, so that's one thing to think about. So when we stand here and you look around, there's certain places that are shaded and shallow, sunny and shallow, sunny and deep, shaded and deep. Anywhere for starters where there's deeper water, you're probably going to find fish, okay?
Right.
So keep that in mind when you fish. The guides obviously will take you out and show you where to cast and how to cast and what you're supposed to do with the rod to manipulate it to present the fly to the water so it looks as natural as possible to the fish.
Okay.
If you cast the rod out and your fly hits the water and then the current starts dragging your fly faster than the water's moving, it doesn't look natural. The fish probably won't eat it.
Right.
Okay. So we have a technique, it's called mending, where you actually create slack in your line after you cast it. So you get as long of a natural float with the speed of the current as you can with your fly.
Okay.
And mending is a big part of fishing with the dry flies. It's a big part also with the indicators and the nymphs, but it's more with the dry flies because they're so affected by all the currents, and they're honestly supposed to just sit on top of the water and float as calm as possible. Okay? On the flip side of that,
Got it.
if you're a grasshopper and you live in a tree or live on the shore, okay, let's just say Maddie's a grasshopper.
I'm a grasshopper.
She lives in the bushes.
I live in the
she's on
bushes.
a branch, and the wind comes and knocks you off the branch into the water, okay?
I'm going to panic to get out of there as quickly as possible.
So when you're fishing with a grasshopper, it's not as imperative for it to float as calm as possible because in real life, grasshoppers are panicking a little bit.
Right.
So they're going to flutter around a little bit. So if that fly moves every once in a while, it's okay.
Okay.
All right? If you're fishing with a tiny little dry fly that is very well aware of being in the water, they're going to sit perfectly still. So if you can't make that fly sit still, the fish is going to know and it probably won't go up and eat it. Okay?
Okay.
All right. With that being said, this is a short fly rod. This is a 7-foot 3-weight rod. Most of the rods we fish with are 9-foot 5 weights. That's pretty common. But for smaller water, smaller flies, this is a great rod, okay?
Okay.
Rods come in different stiffnesses like skis and golf club shafts, right?
Got it.
This one's got a real soft front end, so it's going to be real noodly, okay? They make rods that are much stiffer for different applications, okay?
Got it.
Okay, so once you figure out what the application is you're going to fish in, if you end up fishing down the road, then that's the direction you go with finding the right action for your rod, okay?
Got it.
Okay. We tied on the hopper.
It's pink.
Tied on the hopper. And what do we have behind it, Maddie?
The hook and a little dropper.
That's a dropper behind it, okay? So a hopper dropper. So this is going to float on the surface, and this one is going to sink down, a couple feet.
Okay.
Okay? If the fish eats that one, this one's going to disappear.
Got it.
Or the fish might actually come up and eat that.
Okay.
But first, I want to kind of show you a little bit of casting so you can
Okay.
kind of start with that. So let's come back over here. We're going to cast kind of in that direction, okay?
All right.
So, did
Got
you ever
it.
spin fish have you ever used a
Yeah.
spinning rod?
Yeah.
So really, it's all, with a spinning rod, Maddie, it's all about the weight of the lure that sends it out to the target, right?
Right.
Right, does that make sense?
Yeah.
All you do is press the button and cock your wrist and let it go.
Right.
With a fly rod, there's no weight built into these little flies, right? So you can't rely on the fly.
You got to rely on yourself.
You got to rely on yourself partially, but it's all about the casting motion to get the fly out to the target. So unlike spin fishing where you just go back and you whip it, you got to have a little rhythm to it, okay? It's not about power, it's about finesse.
Got it, all about the finesse.
Especially with a smaller rod and smaller water. So I'm gonna pull out some of this fly line and show you some of the basics, okay?
Okay.
We bring it back and we just gently toss it out, right?
Okay.
And then you follow it, see that?
Yep.
We're not doing a lot of this, we don't need to. We'll pull out a little more fly line and we'll gently toss it out, okay? And we'll follow it. That's pretty natural, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If we need to do a mend, basically after you cast, you take the tip of the rod, picture it like a paintbrush, and you're going to paint your fly line into a backwards C with a fly line, okay? So like this. You go like this, and then we're going to go like that with it, right? See how we made a big loop now?
Yeah.
Now once we do that, the current's going to affect that first and not your fly. So when you're fly fishing, mending is a big piece of it all the time.
Good morning, Vail.
It's that time where we're talking Sun and Ski Sports Product of the Week. Now, if you like to get out there and enjoy the trails on your bike, well, it's really important that you keep your head nice and safe. And so right now, I've got the Giro Manifest Spherical in front of me. Now, this helmet has some fancy new technology. The spherical part is progressive layering with dual density liners to address high and low impact speed. So you can see as I wiggle the top of the helmet, it is fully moving. Now, this helmet also comes equipped with MIPS, which stands for Multi-Directional Impact Protection System, which keeps your brain just extra safe when you're out there riding. And if you do happen to have one of those accidents, well, then it will help you stay nice and safe. This helmet has a lot of really nice features. It has the wind tunnel ventilation on it, making it so that you stay cool when you're out there enjoying your nice ride. So I'm going to flip this helmet right around to the front so you can see all of those nice wind tunnel vents. Now, another great feature of this helmet is it has a movable visor. That way you can protect yourself from the sun as needed in any direction. Now, another great feature of this helmet is if you're right in between sizes, don't worry, it has an adjustable fit in the back, making it nice and convenient for you to get this helmet on your head to fit any shape. Now, you can check out this helmet at Sun and Ski Sports. Now, they have so many convenient locations, or you can shop online at their website at sunandski.com. That way you can keep yourself nice and safe out there on the trails. We want to thank them so much for bringing you this product of the week. We've got more after this.
Nap Harvest, your local marketplace for fresh, locally produced products. Our indoor farmers market is open 7 days a week, featuring locally grown organic produce, prepared meals, honey from our Nap Nectar hive, furniture, cutting boards, and much more. We source and sell locally grown and produced products from the Vail and Roaring Fork Valleys. Visit us at our new location in Eagle Ranch, 717 Sylvan Lake Road, next door to Color Coffee Roasters.
Eyepieces of Vail has been a fixture in the Vail community for over 30 years. From designer frames and sunglasses to high-performance sports frames, prescription goggles, and in-demand accessories like helmets, goggle lenses, and foldable reading glasses, our inventory raises the optical bar. Visit one of our 7 locations today and see why generations of loyal customers return time after time for our unmatched service and inventory. Eyepieces, the art of vision.
Each week on the Tech Show, you can look forward to the latest in technology and how you can use it too. We'll also chat with leading experts, and you'll find out if the latest gadget will take my money or not. Don't miss the Tech Show. Tech your local listings.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. Now, Mark has been out on the river all morning long. He's also been out there showing Maddie the ropes. So let's take a look at the end of their lesson.
So
the mending.
Yeah, so mending is creating slack line in the line between your rod and the fly. So you cast it out, then you make a C backwards. Current's going to affect that first and not your fly. You cast it out, You take the tip and make a little C. See that? Little
Yep.
C backwards. Little C. And then sometimes during one cast, you'll make 10 of these to keep creating slack. And depending upon what the current's doing, if there's an eddy and it's coming back at you, you'll do a downstream mend and then an upstream mend. You're always watching that fly to get it to be as natural as possible in the water.
Okay.
And we don't need to slam it down. Okay?
I got it. The
It's all
finesse.
about waiting and then just let it go out nice and easy.
Okay.
And then do a little mend, okay? Another suggestion for you, you make the cast and then that line will go behind your finger, okay?
Okay.
If you get a bite, you lock that finger and you gently pick the rod tip up.
Okay.
And the fish will go the other way and they'll set the hook on themselves. You don't need to
Yank
pull
it.
the head off the fish.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, let's just try a little bit to start, okay?
Okay.
Nice and easy.
And I do it with the hand that I use as my dominant hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna help you out. So you go ahead, you can do one first. Okay. Point your rod tip where you want it to go. So picture
Okay.
over there, okay?
Right.
You don't need two hands. Get rid of that hand. Loosen up your shoulder, loosen up your elbow, and just go nice and easy up and nice and easy down, okay? One thing you're doing automatically, picture the face of a clock over your shoulder right here,
Okay.
right? There's midnight, there's noon.
Mhm.
That's 10 o'clock. Look right here. 10, 2.
Uh-huh.
Try to stay between like 10 and 1-ish, okay?
Okay.
Front cast. You just came back to about 6 o'clock on the back cast.
Got it.
Okay, so try to stop up high and then put it right out there. It'll come out, it'll go out better, okay? Okay, give it a little bit more of a, give it a little more pop off the water. Pop to stop, go. Better. Yeah, see that?
Okay.
And once you get that basic down, then you can try doing one of those mends. 3 o'clock, Maddie. Try one.
Watch out. I don't want to hit you with the...
You're okay. You got this.
Oh, no, it's not there. It's
You're
there.
good.
It's there. It's there. Okay, I thought I lost it for a second. Oh, 3 o'clock, Mark.
Awesome. That was better. That was better right there. Okay, so now while you're doing it, look up here and see where your rod is. Do your cast and see where you go. Go forward. There you go. Good.
Okay.
Okay. Put one out there and then do a little mend for me. And that's right. You just want to wiggle the tip of the rod just a little bit. One more time. Let me show you. If you pull it too hard, you're going to drag the fly, right?
Right.
So it's really just very subtle.
Okay.
Just the tip of the rod, okay?
Just a little C.
Little. Gentle C. There you go.
Okay.
But you want to make sure that you're seeing the C, right?
Right.
And we have that leader. Let me put a little more line out so you can actually see the fly line. Okay, now watch. Out there. See the C in the water right here?
Yeah.
Yep. So just make sure you're kind of
I got to get my power stance on
That's
that.
we're falling. You don't need a power stand. Okay, maybe you do. Here you go.
I think the power stance brings some confidence in it.
Okay. Little men. Okay. Okay. Shoot more towards the camera.
Okay.
Okay. Now take this hand, let go of the fly line. Pull a little bit of line out with your hand out of the reel. Pull it out. Now pinch it off again. And then wiggle the tip and let that line come out. Okay, now do it again with a little more line, okay? Don't come back so far. The more line you keep out, the more line you cast with, the less far you have to come back.
Okay.
Okay, because there you go, good. And try not to drag it if you can, all right? Now, if we didn't just stir all the water up with camera guys and with what's going on, there's a good chance with what you have happening right now that you possibly could catch a fish. But I think with what we're up against, probably not, but that's fine because this is a training camp of sorts, right?
Right.
I think the plan will be to approach this again with our next little installment with you actually on the water. I have all my stuff and we're actually going to go and fish, and we're going to fish until we catch fish.
I love it.
But this is just, here, pass me that. That's just one way to present, okay? I mean, there's times when you'll see people and they'll be doing a lot of this kind of stuff, right? They're going to carry a lot of line in the air, right?
Right.
To go really far, because that's the cool thing to do, because they all saw a river runs through it.
Right.
And you can mend that far too, like that, see? But you don't always have to fish far like that. You can always also fish nice and close. And this is a smaller, more wiggly rod, so fishing far like that, you lose a lot of control once you start incorporating a lot more distance into it. But there is a lot of different things that we can do, okay? So if the hopper dropper isn't working, oh, see that wiggle?
Yeah.
That could have been a fish. If the hopper dropper isn't working, then we're gonna have more flies to find something that will work.
Okay.
Okay. What do you think so far about this whole fishing thing?
I think it's great until I have to touch the fish.
And that's part of it. That's why you have a fishing guide with you, right?
Right.
Or nets.
Well, that's why you're going to teach me.
Well, let me explain real quick. So, for me, since I've been kind of fishing for a long time, I have more enjoyment sometimes not actually fishing, but watching other people fish and catch fish. So, that's another piece that people can get out of doing what we do.
Right.
Right?
Right.
It's about a way to disconnect and to be out on the river. It's pretty mesmerizing, isn't it? Peaceful?
It's so peaceful.
I saw fish rising over there. I thought maybe we could get it. So what do you say next up we actually go and do it all, okay?
I'm in.
You are?
I'm so in. Yeah, the journey has started. Now we have to finish it.
Yeah, but then that's the start. Once it's finished, it's started.
I know.
Because then you have to do it more.
Yeah, I'll just come hang out with you and have you take me.
I love it. Okay, I'm good. You good?
I'm good.
All right, everybody. Mark and Maddie, we'll be right back. Have a good day. Be safe. Don't fall.
Good morning, Vail.
Familia de TV8, estamos muy emocionados de seguir avanzando nuestra programación en español. Recientemente tuvimos un exitoso evento donde colaboramos con nuestra comunidad para desarrollar ideas sobre nuestro contenido y nuestra programación en español. Así que muchísimas gracias a todas las personas que asistieron. Y si no tuviste la oportunidad de contribuir, aún puedes mandarme tus comentarios a través de correo electrónico. Y además te invitamos a seguir nuestras nuevas redes sociales para estar al tanto de todo nuestro contenido en español. Nos encuentras en Instagram y Facebook, @TV8 Conexión Latina, o nuestra página web tv8vail.com/Conexión Latina. Recuerda que puedes sintonizar toda la programación de TV8 a través del canal 92 de Comcast o nuestra página web tv8vail.com. TV8 is excited to continue making progress to our Spanish programming. We recently had a successful event at our studio where we collaborated with community members to develop ideas for the future of our Spanish programming. So thank you to everyone who came out. And if you didn't get a chance to contribute, you can still send me your comments via email. You can also now follow our new Spanish social media accounts on Facebook and Instagram @TV8 Conexión Latina, or our website tv8vail.com/Conexión Latina, so you can stay up to date on all our Spanish content. Remember, you can also tune in to all of our TV8 programming on Comcast Channel 92 or our website at tv8vail.com.
Here at Sun and Ski Sports, we are all about having the best summer adventures. Our full-service bike shop is here to help you get back on the saddle with services ranging from simple tire changes, full bike overhauls, and rentals. If trail running, hiking, or trips to the lake are your thing, our expert staff will fit you in the best performing footwear or clothing. And don't forget about a relaxing day on the water with our stand-up paddleboard rentals. Call Sun and Ski Sports in Avon or Dillon today, or learn more at sunandski.com/CO.
Hello, everyone. I'm Raisa Pascal.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. Welcome to Life, Love, Shopping. Have any personal stories you can share?
Do I? Yes, I do. So even though you work for...
Some good deals, too good to miss on Flash Deals now. Check this out.
Studies show spending time outdoors can help with depression, lowering blood pressure, and overall health and happiness.
Join us on the Leadville Railroad. This fun-filled train ride takes you and your family on an unforgettable trip through the heart of the Rockies for a half-day trip of adventure, relaxation, and sightseeing. Enjoy the spectacular Colorado scenery. Even meet the engineer. Book your adventure on the Leadville Railroad today at leadvillerailroad.com.
Good morning, Vail.
Now, if you've been joining us all morning on Good Morning Vail, Mark has been giving us the tour and showing us the ropes of all things fly fishing. But we have a wonderful partnership with Covered Bridge, and they have a conversation with endurance runner Corey Crane. Let's have a look at that.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Covered Bridge on TV8. My name is Kim Fuller. I'm the co-owner of Jaunt Media Collective in West Vail and the editor-in-chief of Covered Bridge magazine.
And I'm Bobby LaRue, the other co-owner and the director of partnerships at Covered Bridge magazine as well. We have the pleasure of sitting down with Corey Crane, a longtime local and an endurance athlete here in Vail, Colorado. So Corey, welcome to Covered Bridge on TV8. It's an honor to be sitting down with you. We've known each other for, gosh, a better part of longer than a decade now, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're excited to talk about the article we have coming up on you, but we're also excited just to get to know you a little bit more. Let the readers and the viewers know a little bit more about Corey Crane, how you made it here, what you've done in the Valley, and kind of your adventure and journey through endurance athletics.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
So how long have you lived here in the Valley?
So I moved to Vail, actually. I just picked it on a map in September of 2001. I moved out from Alabama. I just wanted a change of scenery, and here I am 22 years later.
Wow, so picked it on a map. What was that process?
I literally,
like?
I knew I wanted to be in the mountains. I knew I liked Colorado, having, driven out here with family road trips. And I literally just picked Vail on the map. It was a little bit closer to Denver if I needed to fly home to see the fam in Alabama. And here I am 22 years later. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So, I think it's always fun to hear everyone's story. Myself, like we go through these ups and downs in the Valley of finding our way, right? So what have you done in this Valley as far as employment and then also like adventure? Because I think that's a big part of it.
Sure. Yeah, so when I first moved out here, it was literally the week after 9/11. So there was a huge hiring freeze, pretty much a ghost town. I clearly didn't do my research. You can't get a job really in September. Nobody's hiring, as we all know. So, I just kind of had some fun for a couple months. But then, I did everything from ticket sales to specialty sports back in the day, worked for Vail Mountain. And for the past 18 years, I've been employed by East West Resorts, so, and property management in Beaver Creek.
That is amazing. And, I've met you, gosh, I think through yoga originally.
Yes.
But you're out there all the time on the mountains. I mean, I see you whether it's ski season, bike season, running season.
Right.
Some of your favorite sports are, and then what are you currently working on?
Sure. So I, going back to when we first met in 2010, I should say. I was a big yogi. I loved it. I still practice. But I love to mountain bike. I love to ski. In fact, this season I had one of my biggest history for working a full-time job. I was pretty psyched on close to 70 days on the mountain. And a lot of that's before the lifts open or after the lifts close, just to fluctuate with my work schedule. And then, I just got into I work out at the gym, that kind of thing, and I just kind of got into running. And for me, it's just a way of releasing energy from the day or, exploring on my own 2 feet. And I love going out with my dog, but a couple of really good friends of mine just kind of got me into bigger distance running. So that's where the past 5 years have really come into play. And when I first discovered ultra distance, which is anything over a marathon distance, 26 miles, I was in my late 30s. So I was kind of late to the game, but I was there for it. I was excited for it. And now that I've approached my mid 40s, I'm all like game on. I'm so freaking pumped. I've just got so much planned this summer. With the final hurrah of being the Leadville 100 in August. So that's what I'm currently training for.
It's so exciting and impressive to be following your journey. And so, we do have an article in the summer-fall issue of Covered Bridge, which is our journey issue, featuring Corey and your journey to the race across the sky, the Leadville 100. Tell us about the decision to sign up for the Leadville 100, the process of actually getting into the race, and what your training has been looking like.
Sure. So last year I ran the Leadville Marathon, which is held every June. It's pretty tough. 26 miles takes you up to Mosquito Pass, which is above 13,000 feet. So you can only imagine the little oxygen we have as training. But I had an awesome race, and at the awards, you can enter your bib if you'd like into their so-called lottery. And my name was called, and I got the infamous coin to the Leadville 100.
Oh, let's get a close-up on that
Yeah,
coin. So this is what's pulled if you get picked, or to put your name in?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so you literally, you qualify, and then you can sign up through your bib number.
Okay.
And I, you know, got the lottery coin. And
Yeah.
so you literally, right then and there, you have to make a decision. Are you running it this year, or are you running it next year? And for me, I was running the Trans-Selkirks last August, which is a 6-day, 120-mile race through the mountains of British Columbia. So I knew I couldn't race in August. So essentially, I've been signed up for almost a year. And what my training looks like is I started with my coach in January. And I like having a coach because it holds me accountable. He gives me my workouts over the weekend, and then I can tune them into how my work schedule looks like, or just life in general, right? But I'm held accountable. I know what I need to do. I might fluctuate Tuesday for Wednesday or vice versa. But I told him, I said, I will do the work. I'm very disciplined. I'm very focused. I want this. And so it's been fun working the past 5 months, and I'm just slowly building mileage. And, you know, this season during the winter, I did a lot of cross training, right? So I didn't want to just run because I knew I would get burned out. So essentially, I've been skiing quite a bit, like I said before, after hours, you know, ski touring. I fat biked quite a bit on the trails locally. I got into Nordic skiing, and I skated quite a bit, you know, for the endurance and swimming. So I feel like I've covered all angles, but now that we're getting into drier trails, I'm really starting to amp up the mileage. So this past weekend, I was in Leadville training, because that's the best thing you can do for your lungs and your legs, is get up to 11,000 feet. The weekend before, I went to the Grand Canyon. I ran down to the river and back. So I'm just, for me, it's all about adventure and just learning to love it. I'm doing this because I truly love it. I'm not, I have to. I want it. Like, I'm focused. So I've really dedicated to it, and a lot of it's part of my new lifestyle too these past 2 years.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I know Kim has a couple questions, but quickly,
Sure.
you just mentioned something as an athlete that I think some of us, you know, we get sucked into one sport, we train so hard. How important has the cross training been for overall physical, and then also like injury prevention?
Right. Well, that's a good point. So overall cross training, you work all different sets of muscles. So women, as we get older, our fast twitch muscles do start to deteriorate. So for me, it's important to work all aspects of my mental training as well as my, you know, physical physique. So swimming's awesome cardio, endurance, getting up, you know, to ski down, that's phenomenal lung power. So I've really been diving into different to A, just mentally not get burned out with just running, but B, also to enjoy all the sports that I essentially moved to Colorado for. So
Yeah, it's really fun to follow along on your training, and to go along sometimes too when we're lucky enough.
We've had some good weekends training together.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Corey, you've been very vocal in the last, I guess it would be about 2 years, about a journey of sobriety, and what led to that choice, and how has that impacted what you're doing now?
Sure. Well, yeah, so it was actually 2 years just this past week on May 9th.
That's amazing. And
just how that stemmed, I think, you know, when I moved here in my early 20s, you know, it's go time. It's fun, it's ski town lifestyle, it's party, you know, alcohol's everywhere. It's, you know, socially accepted in our society and our culture here. And when I hit 40, you know, I was at an all-time high, just having the best time of my life. But, you know, those highs definitely bring your lows too. So we being my husband and I went to Mexico 2 years ago to visit some friends that lived down there. And, you know, I definitely kept it chill that week. I just wasn't into it like normal beach trips usually are. And I remember it was Mother's Day. It was May 9th, and we went to the airport, and I said, oh, should I spend these last pesos and get another Corona? And I thought to myself, I don't need it. I don't need this. So I got home the next day and I was really focused on getting back to work, you know, your routine, you're not at the beach anymore. And I said, you know what, I'm not gonna drink this week, I just wanna be healthy, right? Well, my last sip of alcohol was May 8th, 2021. So somehow I quit cold turkey. It was absolutely mind-blowing, especially those that know my past. But I've got nothing but awesome things to say about sobriety, and for me it's been a life-changing decision, the best adult decision I've ever made. I'm still having a great time. I'm still hanging out with my friends, you know. I'm now DD, you know. And it's just really been inspiring and empowering for especially my lifestyle of, you know, my crazy work schedule and then adding on top of it my training. And just knowing that I'm walking every day with a clear lens and I feel good. And if I don't sleep well, then it's something perhaps I ate that day, but there's never this blame of, you know, perhaps a drink the night before. So I really do feel that you know, the non-alcoholic movement is definitely taking a trend in our society, and I'm super proud and honored to be a part of it. And I do encourage those that might have a little issue or some sober curious just to look into it. You know, just a 30-day detox, 42-day detox. There's so much more to it. I mean, there's your physical, there's your mental, there's your spiritual. I mean, my finances, your skin, your sleep. I mean, nobody said, you know, gosh, my habitual drinking habits have really, you know, empowered my life, right? So I feel that if there is a little bit of an issue, you know, in the gray area drinking, look into it. And, you know, I'm happy to reach, you know, speak with you or whatnot. There's awesome programs in town. I know there's, you know, wonderful podcasts to listen to, and just a little bit of encouragement. If you go to reach for that beer, just give it 15 minutes. Give it 15 minutes. Instead, lace up your shoes, go for a walk, and just think, okay, am I going to regret this, or am I going to feel better about my decision? You know.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, it's just been
really helpful.
Yeah,
I think
thank
for
you.
a lot of people, you know.
Yeah, and you know, for me, I know that I'm on the right path, and I'm super excited about it. You can probably just tell. Like, I just want to shout it from the mountaintops. I just, yeah, my life has just improved, and I'm very grateful for it. So.
Super inspiring on so
Well,
many
thank you.
levels, Corey.
Thanks.
Yeah. In the closing of the article on Corey is a quote from her that I'd love to read here. And I think it really relates to everything we've been chatting about today. Anyone who's willing to step out of their comfort zone, that's where growth really happens. I want to encourage people to live an awesome, healthy life and enjoy the beautiful mountains we live in. And if you're struggling, reach out to a friend. There's always hope around the next corner. And we really hope that on your journey of training this summer and the actual race, 100 miles, so the Leadville 100 in August, that those times it does get challenging, you know that hope is around that next corner for you.
Yeah, and just know that growth comes from possibility, it comes from opportunity, but you have to want it, and it takes a lot of discipline. I know I committed to this, and so I wake up every day with gratitude, with discipline, and just excitement, you know. And yes, there's obviously some lows, but the highs definitely outnumber the lows. And I'm just eager for my summer of racing and my friendships, and I've got some fun concerts on the books. So, you know, life doesn't slow down just because alcohol's not involved. I've got to remind listeners about that. It definitely is an eye-opening experience, and so. But thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for everything you do in this community.
Well, thank you.
We'll be following your bib number.
Yes.
We might even be out there. We've got a couple of friends that are running, so it's really fun to go out and support. So yeah, great luck with training this summer, Corey. Thank you for joining us and for participating in the article as well. Corey Crane here, and we will all be watching her in anticipation of an amazing race, Leadville 100 this August. Thank you all for watching Covered Bridge on TV8. We'll see you next time.
Have a good day.
Good morning, Vail.
When you're in Vail, you're in vacation mode, and you need a flexible home tour experience that fits into your schedule. We've transformed how you view and buy homes in the Vail Valley. With immersive, cutting-edge technology, you can explore properties 10 times faster. In our lounge, we guide you through this digital world on a 16-foot screen where you can imagine your next home in comparison to your favorite recreational spots. Say goodbye to multi-day home tours and hello to a quick stop between your other plans. That's the power of the immersion theater.
Welcome aboard! Bobby Laurie and Nikki Noya have your ticket to everything you need for an on-the-go lifestyle. Grab your boarding pass. It's time to jet set.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Nap Harvest, your local marketplace for fresh, locally produced products. Our indoor farmers market is open 7 days a week, featuring locally grown organic produce, prepared meals, honey from our Nap Nectar hive, furniture, cutting boards, and much more. We source and sell locally grown and produced products from the Vail and Roaring Fork Valleys. Visit us at our new location in Eagle Ranch, 717 Sylvan Lake Road, next door to Color Coffee Roasters.
Eyepieces of Vail has been a fixture in the Vail community for over 30 years. From designer frames and sunglasses to high-performance sports frames, prescription goggles, and in-demand accessories like helmets, goggle lenses, and foldable reading glasses, our inventory raises the optical bar. Visit one of our 7 locations today and see why generations of loyal customers return time after time for our unmatched service and inventory. Eyepieces, the art of vision.
Good morning, Vail.
And we're back. What a show we had today. It was all about fly fishing, spending time out in the river. You definitely need to take advantage of that before the cooler temps start coming in again. And speaking of temperatures, definitely going to be cooler all week long. We'll have thunderstorms tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. Thank you to Mark for everything that you've done. Hug your parents and remember, respect them today.
Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has